Good morning. It's early. It's 4:30 in the morning, and it's about the time where I normally get ready for work. Typically, I would be journaling in a physical paper journal. My air conditioning just turned on, sorry. I'm gonna try to speak up a little bit more because I might have to start wearing headphones for the microphone, but other than that, actually, yeah, hang on, I'm gonna go do that. Alright, I hope that's a little bit better. I have like 4 pairs of these that I just kind of have hanging around, so hopefully I should get some use out of them, right? But this morning I wanted to talk about self-love and self-love September that's coming up. I don't know if Kellyanne is doing it this year. She hasn't mentioned anything about it. I assume she is, but she usually has a video gearing up for it. But anyway, I wanted to kind of mention my struggles a little bit because there are plenty, and they come about mostly in the morning. It's like I wake up in the morning and my brain just completely resets. And all the invasive thoughts that I have just come to the forefront, and it's really hard to deal with anymore because it's been years of this repeated cycle, and I don't know how to fix it. For a long time, I didn't even recognize it was happening. I think a lot of it has to do with gaslighting myself. Sorry. I've got swollen piggy eyes this morning. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with gaslighting myself and the environment in which I was raised, which I might talk about that sometime. But we'll just say my mother and grandmother were not the easiest people to be around or live with. But I was the difficult one. I've also, in my past few years of really self-searching and discovering myself as a person and going through the shadow work and really just digging through the layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of shit. Don't come for me, but I know myself better than anyone else, and through the observations and all this other stuff, it's very apparent to me that I am on the autism spectrum and also comorbid with ADHD. I was always told by everyone in my family that how difficult of a child that I was, and just my mom's side is very narcissistic and bad. Just there's a lot to go through there. It's just the abuse cycles, the psychological abuse cycles are very. They were always there, and I always kind of knew they were there, but I couldn't do anything about them at the time, so here we are. But with that being said, that's not what this video is about per se. Again, maybe I'll talk about it in another video, speaking my truth as it were, because that's one thing you're not allowed to do in a household like that. And in a abusive household like that, you don't talk about it. And I'm, quite frankly, I'm done not talking about it. So, but it's a lot to kind of talk about. So, I try to keep it to myself as much as possible. Keep it to my journals. But so that's a self-love struggle that I have, just coming to terms with all of that nonsense. But you know, being the black sheep kind of throws you into this role where you're always doubting yourself and always trying to prove yourself, and you're always trying to be better. And no, sorry, no, after all the research that I've done and the self-evaluations, and honestly, I know a lot of people will shit on it and probably come for me when I say this, but you know, TikTok, the algorithm there is pretty accurate, I'd say, for the most part, and I very quickly came into neurodivergent TikTok, and when I started relating to the people who were speaking and being authentic about their autistic experiences, especially the women, a lot of the men too, but a lot of the women who were diagnosed officially and speaking about it, and I was relating to them, and I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So, I guess what I'm dealing with now is more or less just the self-love struggles now that I have this new information, because I was learning to love myself just fine prior to COVID, like the pandemic shutdowns and, excuse me, I'm sorry, and everything like that. I was learning to love myself as I was. I've kind of always expected, or not expected, suspected, words. I've always suspected I had either probably ADD, because I didn't realize that ADHD in women mostly manifests as hyperactive brain activity, not so much hyperactive physical activity. And that is directly from my father's side, so it's been interesting with this new information, learning after I thought I knew myself. You know, it's one of those things. It's like, you know, you go for so many years thinking that you're just difficult, that you're just the problem child. You're just mean. You're that's what my mom always called me. She always told me I was so mean to her. I wasn't mean. I was calling out the bullshit. I was being honest. I was being truthful. But that made me mean. So here we are. Spending my days alone trying to figure myself out again. And one of the hardest things about self-love is sitting with it. Because I can sit there, because I've gotten over the physical hurdle. Oh my God, I would sit and I would look in the mirror and I would nitpick literally every single thing about my face. I never really had any issues with like my physical body, even when I was overweight, like by a lot. At my heaviest, I was like almost pushing 160 pounds, which I'm 5'4". So you do the math. But yes, so that, I'm sorry, I do these videos without notes, and they're kind of just like off the cuff, so I'm sorry if I ramble. I don't really mean to, it just kind of happens. It's really hard for me to sit and like take physical notes for a video that I don't know when I'm gonna film, or I like to film when I'm in the moment, so this would have been something I write in my journal, basically. But I decided I wanted to share it on my channel because it's a form of a journal as well. And sometimes talking about it as opposed to writing it down helps me in a different way. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I would look in the mirror and just nitpick every little thing about my face. I had acne really badly growing up as a kid, and I think that messed me up real bad. And then on top of it, my mother decided to put me on Accutane 2 separate times because it didn't really take the first time. So instead of just allowing my body to do what it does, gotta find a pill to fix everything, don't you? But anyway, so, you know, I'm sure that has fucked up my insides a lot more than I realize. But maybe not. I don't know. The brain is a very powerful thing, and I've been doing a lot of work recently, so I think that like, I've noticed a lot of new pain, but a lot of my physical issues have kind of subsided. I don't know. I don't know how to really explain it, so I'll stop trying to. But yeah, so I would constantly think I was ugly. A lot of my own personal insecurities stem from my mother. You know, She never told me I was beautiful. She never told me I was pretty. She always was trying, if I thought a certain way about myself, she would always try to fix it. Which, that's not what I needed. I didn't need a fix. I needed someone to tell me that everything was going to be okay. And that eventually the acne will go away. But anyways, so yeah, the physical part of loving myself is kind of subsided. I've accepted how I look. I don't really nitpick. I don't really wear makeup anymore. I don't use heat or anything on my hair. I don't really dye it anymore. This is the remnants of the last time I dyed my hair, which was over a year ago, or almost a year ago. It's about September of last year. And now it's the actually discovering who I am. Discovering what was wrong with me this entire time. And dealing with the childhood traumas that are inevitably there. The guilt, the fawning, the flight responses, all that stuff. So, yeah, it's been interesting, to say the least. And self-love September, I'm going to definitely be participating in, and it's coming up here. I don't know what day it is, but within a couple of days. Excuse me. So, yeah, I don't know how often I'll be recording about it, but I'm gonna try and maybe vlog a little bit about it. When I say vlog, I just mean basically what I'm doing here, sitting in front of the camera and talking about it, because I want to make regular vlogs, but with my phone, I don't know if that's gonna be possible. So, yeah, but I want to be artsy with them. Oh, but it's just hard. So, yeah, being high masking, autistic and ADHD filled person has caused a lot of issues in my life that I didn't really know were issues until now. I realized that, oh yeah, that's why I do that. That's why I do this. That's why nobody seems to like me. Why friendships and relationships have been so incredibly difficult for me. And it's not like it's been, there's no like certain age. It was when I began school was when I noticed. I still have memories from when I started preschool that I was different and I didn't get along with the kids the same way as everyone else, and I wasn't wasn't gonna comply and I wasn't gonna not ask questions. I don't read social cues very well. Coming to terms with that has been hard. And I think maybe one day eventually I'll get a professional diagnosis, but in a lot of ways, I don't really need one. Because all that'll do is make me a target, more so, for employers and other people who just don't understand what it is and what it means. So, I don't know. If you have had any major self-discoveries recently, let me know down in the comments. I always invite people to leave comments. I know that I haven't had any on any of my videos just yet. But you know, maybe someday I will, and they're always welcome. I just I never say it because I'm not good at remembering to, first of all, and second of all, I just suck at remembering to have some sort of outro, so I just kind of say goodbye and see you in the next one. Bye.